Behind these walls, on an acre of land in an industrial area of Oakland, California, is the home of Mark Bulwinkle, a true artist with an unquenchable sense of humor. For over 20 years, he's been busy creating bizarre art pieces that have taken over his yard.
I bought a little part of land, a little parcel of land there to store steel on. I used to work in shipyards and bring stuff home, and it turned into where I live. It's expanded. I bought the junkyard behind me and the Quonset hut across the street, and realized that this is where I'm going to stay. This is my home. I'm not going anywhere else. Old George wanted to know if I wanted to buy an old trailer that he had. And the trailer was actually, it was a whorehouse that was on the street. And I bought it for 80 bucks. I looked at it. It smelled so bad I started painting it, clean it up. And it was really the nicest little place I've ever lived.
Go out or? It's cozy, all right, and it suits this man to a T. In every corner there's a touch of Bulwinkle's creations. His distinctive artwork also decorates the high fence surrounding his property and attracts a steady stream of curious visitors.
It's not real easy to get to me. I've told a lot of people that I don't have a doorbell because people will ring the doorbell at all hours. So I tell them if they need me, they can throw rocks. And they do. They throw rocks at the fence, preferably.
This could get you arrested in most communities, but here it's the accepted way to drop in for a cup of tea.
Oh, hey, Tom. I'd know you by your ring anywhere. How you doing?
Just fine.
You want to come in? Okay. I started working as an artist 1967, I believe it was. And I haven't stopped since. It seems too long. As I tell people, I'd really much prefer being a lifeguard in San Diego at this point in my life, but I'm a little bit old. This is what I do for an avocation and a vocation, and everything else in my life. I spend all my time here being an artist.
And by taking his time to be an artist, Bulwinkle managed to fill his home with zany creations of torch-cut steel, creations that are highly personal.
Well, actually, all of the work is autobiographical in some sense. Some of it's really directly. It's people that I've known. Beauty boy, I don't know, he must have been some guy in a shipyard. Maybe a rigger.
A rigger he once worked with, folks who once had him over for dinner, all grist for Bulwinkle's welding torch. There's no mistaking a true Bulwinkle. His home is like a giant puzzle fired by his inspiration.
Fat Melvin came by with a truck full of bicycles and bicycle wheels, and I said, "Hey, Melvin, how much you want for those?" And he said, $35. And I said, "Yeah, I'll give that to you." So I made a bicycle house. I guess you'd call it that. A lot of times just the material is the inspiration, working with it. And the other half of it, I suppose, or a third of the equation would be other people, things that I watch in life. And then, of course, the other third is myself. It's just whatever's in there that comes out onto the material. So there are three parts to it for inspiration. I think you'd have to say about any artist, it's just an irrepressible need to keep doing things.
Every nook, cranny, crack, and crevice you can find in Bulwinkle's backyard is crammed with his artwork.
Yeah, here's my gate. It's the gate to my old house. Still have it? Now it's the gate to nowhere. Yeah.
Mark's yard is his workshop. With skill and perfection, yet another classic Bulwinkle is born.
That's not your dog. I didn't have any indoor space, so I came up with this idea for fences and for just kind of to put stuff inside. And what I put in here is a lot of stuff that I didn't want to get wet outside. And a lot of the ceramic stuff is my germ collection that I did back in around 1980, 82.
I guess you could say that he can find a germ of inspiration just about anywhere.
Well, what I really wanted to be 35 years ago was a writer, so I started off doing that, and I wrote a lot. But I wrote so much that I wore the typewriter out, and pretty much when it was worn out, I forgot about it. Decided not to do that anymore. Well, around here, in my life, it's pretty much my own. I'm my own boss, which can be really awful most of the time, but sometimes it has its advantages, like whenever I feel like it, I can just go lie in my hammock, and it's real nice. And just pig out and relax, listen to something good. It's just kind of what I do. I endlessly decorate the place, and it'll get worse or better, some people think, but I'll just keep doing it when the mood strikes me.
Mark Bulwinkle, one very happy artist in one very unusual residence.